project sites across the capital city expressed optimism that when completed, the Millennium Tower project will change the landscape of Abuja as well as boost its tourism potentials. Kikelomo Okere has details.
The minister says the FCTA has also submitted supplementary budget of 2023, which President Tinubu has approved to transmit to National Assembly to be allowed to spend 61 billion naira before 2024 in order to complete specific projects so that by May 29, new projects will commence. While expressing satisfaction with the level of ongoing work at the Southern Park Ring 1, which connects in the heart of the city, and B12, which stretch from Bolingo Junction to the city gate, he assured the various contractors handling the project that they will be paid before the end of the month.
And the FCT itself, they will serve court processes. Nobody will bring it attention to the ministry, to the FCT. And then there will be judgment, and judgment. Now all those things will be things of the past. It will not work again. Those who are working in the legal departments will not be happy with us. But there's nothing we can do. When you take the right decision, some people will not be happy. Some will be happy. What is important is overall interest. It's not for a few people.
Earlier, the minister set up a task force to critically examine the land swap initiative started by its predecessors. The land swap initiative, which was introduced since 2012, had suffered setback due to several factors. The minister noted that the task force, working under the issuance of certificates of occupancy, was being empowered to handle all the complaints about the land swap.
Assignment for the task force instead of creating more taxes. We believe that the same task force should be able to handle this issue of land swap. We've had a lot of complaints. I want to know details of the land swap. And then on the sale of federal government houses, so many complaints. There are some houses that are built and abandoned. What is the position? Let us get the two documentations of the house that are sold and then they show receipt of payments.
The task force that is headed by the Senior Special Assistant to the Minister on Land, Urban and Regional Planning, Michael Chinda, has the mandate to work and deliver results within 2 months. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja on Wednesday granted bail to the former governor of the Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele. He was granted bail in the sum of 300 million naira and 2 sureties in like sum. Ruling on his bail application on Wednesday, Justice Hamza Muazu said the sureties must have certificates of occupancy and titles of property within the Maitama district. He also ordered Emefiele to deposit all his travel documents with the registrar of the courts and to remain within the Abuja Municipal Area Council. The federal government had initially preferred 20 charges of procurement fraud to the tune of 6.5 billion naira against the former CBN governor. But the federal government reduced the charges to 6 to the tune of 1.2 billion naira, which he was arraigned on last Friday. Muazu at the last proceeding remanded Emefiele in Kuje prison pending his ruling on the former CBN governor's bail application. He adjourned the matter till November 28 for the commencement of trial. The federal government has approached the Supreme Court to review its judgments that the owed 200, 500 and 1,000 naira should be legal tender until December 31st, 2023. The government wants the Apex Court to lift its March 3 order that old naira notes should remain legal tender along with new notes till 31st December. The Apex Court had on March 3rd restrained the Central Bank of Nigeria from giving effect to the deadline on the use of old notes. The 7-member panel of the Apex Court faulted the policy of the CBN, saying the timing and implementation were defective. This is a sequel to a suit instituted by the Kaduna, Kogi and Zamfara state governments challenging the implementation of the policy. 13 other states later joined the suit as co-plaintiffs. According to reports, the Apex Court has fixed November 30th for a hearing on the matter. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja will on Thursday deliver judgment in the appeal arising from the Nasarawa State governorship election. This is contained in a notice issued by the court. The State Election Petition Tribunal had earlier sacked the state governor, Abdullahi Sule, who was declared winner by the election by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Sule, through his counsel, Wale Olanipekun, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, approached the appeal court asking it to overturn the judgment of the tribunal. The federal government on Wednesday said it was exploring funding options for the country's 4 inter-university centers with a view to enhancing their training and research capabilities. The Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, made this known at an interactive session with chief executive officers of the centers. According to a statement by the Federal Ministry of Education, the statement, which was signed by the Director of Press of the Ministry, Ben Gong, quoted the minister to have said that he will open a line of dialogue between the ministry, the centers, and the Tertiary Education Trust Fund with a view to bringing inter-varsity centers within the funding envelope of that fund. The minister also appealed to public and private universities across the country to patronize the centers for their training programs. The federal government has announced that it is considering re-establishing a national shipping line that is projected to add $10 billion to Nigeria's economy yearly. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, made this known on Tuesday during a stakeholders roundtable discussion on advancing sustainable development in Nigeria's marine and blue economy. The minister explained that the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy will operate in the public-private partnership and arrangement to deliver strategies and policies that will drive development in the maritime sector of the economy. Adamawa State Governor, retired Honorable Amadu Umaru Fintri, has called on the people of the state to remain calm and go about their normal businesses, describing Tuesday night's gunshots in Yola, the Adamawa State capital, as unfortunate. He appealed for accommodation and tolerance among security agencies, describing the incidents as unacceptable, while regretting the ugly incident that led to the clash between the soldiers and the police. Governor Fintri disclosed that government is on top of the situation and appealed to the parties to exercise restraint in the overall peace of the state. Governor Fintri urged all security personnel on special assignment to remain at their duty post and conduct themselves with high sense of maturity. And a week after failing to appear before the House of Representatives, service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police finally appear to discuss security issues with members. Insecurity has been a major cause of concern for Nigeria, from insecurity in the northeast to banditry in the northwest. The southeast of the country is not also spared, with reports of kidnapping and killings reported daily. The service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police took turns to explain their stewardship and challenges faced so far since assumption of office before members. Speaking on behalf of the military, the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Christopher Musa, says the military has made lots of gains in its fight against insurgency and banditry, stating that as a result, the military has captured grounds previously held by terrorist groups. The grilling later climaxed into an executive session for further discussion. The House of Representatives has summoned 83 ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal government as it begins an investigation into the alleged mismanagement of over 447.6 billion naira COVID-19 intervention fund from 2020 to 2022. This implies that the COVID-19 intervention fund was from 2020 to 2022 was way higher than the 447.6 billion naira received by less than half of the numbers of MDAs invited by the House of Representatives for the probe slated to begin from November 27, 2023 and end on December 4th. The House invited the Ministries of Agriculture and Food Security, Communications and Digital Economy, Federal Road Maintenance Agency, and scores of other ministries, departments, and agencies. The MDAs are to appear before the lawmakers to answer questions on alleged mismanagement of COVID-19 intervention funds distributed among them to fight the global health pandemic. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris, has reaffirmed Nigeria's unwavering commitment to the fundamental principles of press freedom, stressing its pivotal role in fostering a vibrant democracy and transparency in governance. Alhaji Idris stated this when he received the U.S. Charge d'Affaires to Nigeria, David Green, who paid him a courtesy visit in Abuja. He said, while Nigerians are for press freedom, we also want to call on the government of the United States to support efforts at instituting best practices in the media space, particularly fact-checking mechanisms towards reducing the spate of misinformation, fake news, and malinformation. Green, in his response, said the United States is fully behind Nigeria's democracy and is supportive of its media growth through the offer of consistent training over the years, adding that Nigeria is a critical partner in regional security and economic development. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, and the Minister of Steel Development, Shuaib Audu, have resolved to synergize in tapping into the opportunities in Abeokuta Steel Plant for the development of road infrastructure in Nigeria. This was part of an outcome of their interministerial meeting held at the office of the Minister of Works in Abuja, in keeping with the renewed hope agenda of the present administration. Speaking on the outcome of their meeting, the Minister of Works said that the Ministry of Steel Development would play a major role in the road infrastructure revolution plan by providing more than 16% of the materials needed for the construction of Nigeria's road in concrete pavement. He said that tapping into the opportunities in steel industry would not only create jobs and wealth for Nigeria's population, but would also create a global market and encourage industrialization. Recounting the contributions by Site Savers Nigeria in the last few years, the Executive Secretary, National Commission for Pensions with Persons with Disabilities, James David Lalu, has applauded the efforts of the development partners in advancing the cause of persons with disabilities in Nigeria. Lalu gave the commendations recently in Abuja when he hosted a delegation from Site Savers Nigeria who were on a courtesy call to the Commission. Lalu disclosed that Site Savers Nigeria have assisted the Commission in various areas such as education, capacity building, supporting the process of Accessibility Standard Code, NCPWD's participation in the ratification of the African Protocol on Disabilities, and opening of eye clinics in some states in Nigeria. In addition, the Executive Secretary seized the occasion to seek the support of Site Savers towards the upcoming African Summit, which is slated to be hosted by Nigeria by next year. According to him, it will be a great opportunity for advocating for the rights of persons with disabilities and the support of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for diplomatic purposes. You're watching Global TV News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the news cycle returns, petrol price rose to 630.63 in October. The news continues shortly with details of this and other stories right after this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the news cycle from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. On the foreign scene, U.S. fighter jets struck 2 targets in Iraq early on Wednesday, killing 5 pro-Iran fighters in retaliation for repeated attacks on U.S. troops in Iraq by Iran-backed groups. U.S. and Iraqi sources said the U.S. military conducted discreet precision strikes against 2 facilities in Iraq. U.S. Central Command says on X, an Iraqi security force official said Wednesday's strike killed 5 fighters of the Hezbollah Brigade, a pro-Iran group within Iraq's Hashid al-Shabi Popular Mobilization Force. It was the first time the United States has announced a strike on Iran-backed forces in Iraq since they launched a flurry of attacks against U.S. targets in response to Washington's support for Israel in its war to destroy Hamas. OpenAI co-founder Sam Altman will return as boss just days after he was fired by the board. The agreement in principle involves new board members being appointed. The tech company, Mr. Altman's sacking on Friday astonished industry watchers and led to staff threatening mass resignations unless he was reinstated. Mr. Altman, on his Twitter account, says he's open to AI and everything he's done over the past few years has been in service of keeping his team and its mission together. North Korea says Wednesday it has succeeded in putting a military spy satellite in orbit after 2 previous failures, as the United States led its allies in condemning the launch as a brazen violation of UN sanctions. A rocket carrying the satellite blasted off Tuesday night from North Pheongan province and accurately puts the reconnaissance satellite Malingyong-1 on its orbit, state-run news agency reports. Now let's talk business. The federal government has announced the revocation of 1,633 mining licenses due to default in payment of stipulated service fees by operators. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, made the announcement while addressing a press conference in his office. He stated that the revocation becomes imperative following the expiration date of 30-day notice to defaulters, as stipulated by Section 11 and 12 of the Nigerian Mineral Mining Act 2007. Uyi Agbomofwegbe has details.
The Mining Cadastral Office, MCO, on October 4, 2023, began the process of revoking 2,213 titles. This included 795 exploration titles, 956 small-scale mining licenses, 364 quarry licenses, and 98 mining leases. Minister of Solid Mineral Development, Alake, therefore warned the previous holders of these titles to leave the relevant cadastre with immediate effect, as security agencies will work with the Mines Inspectorate of the Ministry to apprehend any defaulter found on any area where the titles have been revoked.
With this development, therefore, the MCO recommended the revocation of 1,633 mineral titles as follows: exploration license 536, quarry license 279, small-scale mining license 787, and mining lease 31. In line with the powers conferred on me, therefore, by the NMA, that's the Mining Act 207, Section 5A, I have approved the revocation of the 1,633 titles.
The minister further stated that efforts are ongoing to sanction other operators defaulting in payment of royalties, taxes, among others, emphasizing that revocation of operators short-changing government is an ongoing process, which he noted will create space for serious prospective investors to come on stream.
We don't intend to bend or break the rules whenever and wherever there are violations and non-compliance. Rather, we shall make such cases the examples for others to emulate.
Responding to inquiries on illegal mining, Alake read the Riot Act to culprits, asserting their days are numbered. He vowed that government would deal ruthlessly with those who refuse to turn a new leaf, restating the commitment of President Bola Tinubu to sanitize the mining sector.
It is indeed very unconscionable for corporate bodies making huge profits from mining to refuse to give government its due by failing to pay their annual service fee. It is indeed reasonable conjecture that such a company will even be more unwilling to pay royalties and honor its tax obligations to the government. The amount the companies are being asked to pay is so minimal compared to their own revenue projections.
The minister, however, reiterated that plans for the establishment of Mines Police is underway, revealing that the military will conduct initial clearance operations to pave the way for the deployment of the Mines Police. Uyi Agbomofwegbe, Reporting for Global TV News.
The Nigerian Customs Service has expressed readiness to collaborate with the Nigerian Copyright Commission (NCC) to combat piracy of intellectual and creative property in Nigeria. This was made known by the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, when receiving members of the Commission at the Customs Corporate Headquarters, Abuja. The CGC, welcoming the delegation to his office, announced that their collaboration would create opportunities for the two parties to establish a significant legacy that will end the menace of piracy in the country. He explained that the Nigerian Customs Service has concluded plans to collaborate with relevant stakeholders, enhancing its programs in all aspects through creative activities and training of its staff. Speaking about the need to organize training for the services officers in combating piracy, the CGC said the program will introduce officers and men of the service to new values and expertise that would enhance their capacity and morale to fight piracy. The National Bureau of Statistics says the average retail price of liter of petrol increased from 195.29 naira in October 2022 to 630.63 naira in October 2023. It made the declaration in its petrol price watch for October 2023 released in Abuja on Wednesday. NBS stated that the October 2023 price of 630.63 naira represented a 222.92% increase over the price of 195.29 naira recorded in October 2022. Comparing the average price value with the previous month of September 2023, the average retail price increased by 0.71% from 626.21 naira. The Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAAC, has shared a total sum of 906.955 billion naira in October 2023 Federation account revenue to the federal government, states and local government councils. A communique issued by the FAAC at its November 2023 meeting indicated that the 906 billion naira total distribute revenue comprised distributable statutory revenue of 305.070 naira, distributable value-added tax revenue of 323.446 billion naira, electronic money transfer levy revenue of 15.552 billion naira, exchange difference revenue of 202.887 billion naira, and augmentation of 60.60 billion. According to the communique, total revenue of 1,346,519 was available in the month of October 2023. Total deductions for cost of collection was 53.483 billion. Total transfers, interventions and refunds was 386.081 billion naira. Nigerian international player Victor Osimhen and assistant Oshoala have been nominated for the 2023 Globe Soccer Best Men and Women Player Awards, respectively. Our sport correspondent Sharon Ajay has details and more.
Osimhen has been nominated alongside 29 others for the Globe Soccer Best Men Award. The nominees for the awards were unveiled on Tuesday by the organizers. Last year, the Nigerian forward who led Napoli to a first league title in over 30 years got the Emerging Player of the Year in the Globe Soccer Awards. In the women's category, Aishat Oshola, who won a treble with Barcelona last season, including Champions League, will battle teammate Aitana Bonmati, among others. The Globe Soccer Awards winners will be unveiled in a ceremony on January 19, 2024. In a different development, Argentina pulled off a classic snatch and grab win versus Brazil at the Maracanã on Tuesday, which ended in a 1-0 win to Argentina's advantage. A 63rd minute header from veteran defender Nicolas Otamendi secured victory for Argentina as the world champions bounced back from last week's defeat to Uruguay to beat their South American rivals. Brazil's third defeat of qualifying, meanwhile, leaves the five-time world champions in 6th place with 7 points from 6 games. Sharona J. reporting for Global TV News.
And that's it on Global TV News Cycle. Don't forget we're on StarTimes Channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you soon.